Hello chickens, welcome back to my channel. Angela here, of course. It's Sunday and time for a little crafting. I hope you've had a great weekend so far. Right, today I wanted to add a little miniature version of a decorated bag for our traveler's notebook. So that's what we're working on again today. And I really had fun putting this together. So I'm going to just take that, put it to the side for the moment, and then I'll show you how to go about that. Now, just want to grab my ruler here. I am going to I'm going to use a bag like this. This is just a little glassine bag. It measures 7 centimeters by 12. So that is 4 3/4 by 2 3/4 inches. All right. You need 2 of those. If you don't have these, and I know in the UK it's not easy for us to get hold of these, so I had just a few left that were gifted to me, so I have been hanging on to them. I would show you how I would go about making this. All right, so you need some greaseproof paper, some tracing paper, or some vellum. This is vellum. All right, so any one of those will do. Now what I did was, and I'm going to use this bag to show you, sorry I made a score line there, is we want to make one that's about that size. So what I did was I placed my little bag, which you don't need to do because I'm going to show you how to do that. I cut this piece of vellum 5 inches in width. All right, so that's I think 12.5, yeah, just nearly 13 centimeters. And this way the length of it is almost 16, which is absolutely fine. You don't need to be precise here, or 6 1/4 inches. All right, so what I did here was I've made a score line. What is that? That's about a 1/2 inch wide, the score line, and on this side probably 3/4 inch. All right. And then what I did was I measured 1 1/2 inches, so 4 centimeters from the left hand side, and I made a score line. You don't have to, but I've just done it so I can see. And you want to fold that piece of your vellum paper or whatever you're using like that. You can also just use printed paper. It doesn't have to be see-through or transparent. Then what I did was I measured, I think this is 1 3/4, yeah, 1 3/4 inches. So that is, what is that? Just 4.2 centimeters. And you want to just lap it over there. So you don't really need to measure, but you do want to sort of lap that. And I'm just seeing, yeah, like this. All right. There we go. Right. So you fold a little bit to the middle there. You've lapped it over like that. And you've got a bit of a edge at the top there and a little bit of an edge there. All right. Now you want to open that up. You want to take your scissors and let me draw it for you. You want to hang on to this piece in the middle. So that bit you want to keep, yeah. But this bit here along that line, the fold line, and slightly angled like that, same on that side, you want to cut off. You don't want that and you don't want that. You want to keep that bit there. All right, so let's just do that. You don't need to draw on yours. That was just so that you can see what I'm doing, and I'm just sort of mitring it a little bit, slightly. Okay, and then on this side as well. There we go. My drawing was a bit skewed, but it doesn't matter. You can rub it off. I'm just showing this for the purposes of what we're doing. Now what I did at the top here is I wanted to keep these folds on because this bag has got such a very thin, that's all that's sort of keeping it strong there. You can either cut that lot off, but what I, well, these 2 bits off, but what I thought I would do is cut along the score line again. Yeah. Sorry, not cut along the score line. Sorry. So what I did was I'm going to just cut 2 little lines, one to the right of that fold and one hair's breadth the other side of that fold, so really thin, and that's just so it's not going to catch. Look how thin that is. Yeah, I'm just going to pull that off. All right, it's that thin, it will pull off. You want to do the same here. So here's your fold line, I think. So yeah, and I'm just going to go just to the right of it, to the line, and then just to the left of it. And again, I've got a really thin little bit there. That's just because I want to fold that down like that, and I want to fold that down like that, and I don't want this bit to get stuck in the fold line. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is we're going to fold these two in. So you haven't cut away that little bit there, it just makes it much smoother to do this. I'm going to do that. I want to just use my bone folder quickly. Just give it a nice burnish there and there. Yeah. And then I'm going to use my Barely Arts glue. And you see you've got a flap here and a flap there. I want to fit those two into each other. Right, so they've just tucked into each other there, and then I can see where it laps over. I want to just put some glue on the under flap like that, and you can just press that down. Right, then your bottom flap, you're just going to put some glue on that. There we go. And there you've got your little bag almost done. Then all I did was I took my corner rounder and I rounded the corner there and I rounded the corner there, and there you have your little bag. So that's what you can do with printed paper, with vellum, greaseproof. You can even do it with deli paper, whatever you have available in the kitchen or in your craft room, one of the two. All right, so there we go. There's a little bag, and it's pretty much the same size as this one now. Look at that, except this has got a rounded top. There we go. All right, so either one of these would work. Now I have got another one that I did put together as well. Okay, so I think I'm going to use these because I don't have many of these. So let me grab my others and show you what else you need to use. All right, so I've got two of those little bags that I've made now. All right, and we'll use those. Those measurements are very similar to what I gave you. And then I just want you to gather a few more things. So we're going to use a tag. I don't know which two I'm using, but I've just grabbed some of my smaller tags. These fit in here very nicely, so we'll be using two of those. And I have just got a little plate of goodies here. I ransacked some of my scraps. Now I've got what did I do with it? I've got a box there full of scrappy bits from whenever. You can also use your own fabric. So I've used some of those scrappy bits I said to you to hang on to from other projects we've done. This one was from Letters from a Lady, and I'm going to use a piece of that. This is just sorry scrappy bits, really scrappy bits. I'm using a bit of that. There's some cream I've got, and I even found some of the Swiss dot tulle, soft tulle stuff. So some of those scrappy bits, we are really using this sort of size scraps. And then I've just gathered two different lace pieces here. I have grabbed some of the hydrangeas. I've got a new little one here, the pink one, if you haven't seen this one. I've sewn a button on there, so I've got a pale pink and a smaller one. And then on the other, I'm just using one of my cream flowers and one of my hydrangeas from the mixed flowers, like that. And then I've also grabbed a couple of die cuts from my flowers. All right, so yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen, but I do have digitals for all sorts of flowers. They include these, which are botanical cards. I've just printed them larger here. I've got butterflies, I've got flowers, all sorts of flowers. This is part of my printed bundle for the flowers and butterflies, but I do have them as digitals as well, individual digitals. All right, so I've just clipped mine together because I use this quite often, and it's next to me on my desk, so that's where these come from. All right, so that's what I've got there. Of course, if you've got your own wildflower books and you are able to fussy cut out of there, even better. All right, so that's what we're pretty much going to use. I've got 1 or 2 sentiments. So I've got a couple of these, 2 of these. I've got 2 butterflies, and I've also gathered 2 of the greenery bits for this kit. All right, so that's what we are doing here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I use those scrappy bits, and what I did with them. So on this one, I have just sewn a pile of things together here. I've got 2 different sorts of sari. One's cream ivory and one's cream. I've just layered them on top of each other, just like that. And then the other one was from the bottom of this. So they're different colors on the same piece. So I just took 2 like that, lay them on top of each other, and see how long I needed them, and cut them off. All right, so that's what I did. And then I went and took a little strip of the fabric, which in this case was this here. This one's a bit short. I tore it off. You can see all the threads. This one's a bit short for this, but you get the idea. So once I'd layered those together, I then went and got my fabric and put that on top of that in the middle. Yeah. So I'm just layering up here little scrappy bits, and it does look really cute. And then I took a little bit of that very soft tulle. Where are you? This bit here. It's like really a ½ an inch wide, and I just put it in the middle there. And I sewed a line down the middle. You can do it by hand if you don't have a sewing machine, and that's what I've got. All right, same with this. I've just taken 1 piece of the cream sari. I've then added a piece of the pink sari scrap that I had, and a bit of that tulle, and sewed it down the middle. So that is what I'm going to use at the top here. All right, so really easy. Before we stick that on, I did grab the lace. So I took 3 of the hearty bits and I'm going to stick that over there. Just want to trim that little bit off. Right, so I'm going to stick that on just over there. So let me just grab my fabric glue. All right, so we want to just get this. I think I'm going to just put it straight on here. And because I've got this at this, let me just turn this on the side around there. I'm going to make this a bit lower actually, and then I'll stick the other on top. I've got this over here. I'm just getting the right side, and I'm going to put it just across there like that. Right, and then on this one I'm going to take 3 of these, and I'm going to get that just across there like that. Okay, really easy. I'm going to just centralize this. I don't really want to cut these flowers, so that things are going to go a little bit over the edge, but I'm all right with that. I'm just cutting off the top corner there. Okay, and there we go. All right, let's grab the glue again. They don't have to be completely stuck, you know. This is one of those messy jobs, ladies. It definitely is. Gosh, and I cut myself with the scissors yesterday. Oh, in my finger there, look. It doesn't look big, but it's deep, and I've only just got it to stop bleeding. Yeah, that was me because of the ribbons, but luckily I didn't bleed everywhere. Right, so they're small mercies. It's just tender now. Right, so we've got this bit now where we're going to stick those strippy bits on, And I want to get it just on the top there. Stick this one over here, and I'm going to sort of scrunch it just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe get that in there. And I'm going to just scrunch it just a little bit with my fingers. I'm just scrunching it up. There we go. And then we want to do, I think I need a little bit more glue here. Okay, and then we can do the same. So we've got that there, got that there, and we're just scrunching it up a little bit. Yeah, just gives it a bit of texture. I like the scrunchy bit. All right, so we want to just make sure that we haven't gone into the pocket bit and stuck it together, but so far so good. Right, so that's where we are at the moment. Now, before you want to go and put on these bits for the next phase, decide which part of the page you actually want to put these on. All right, so whether it's going to be left or right, and I'll show you what I mean. I've moved this out the way so I don't forget where I want to put it. So I'm going to be putting the one on this side here. Yeah, so I wanted to have that left. Is that the right spot for that? I'm just checking. Actually, I'm going to put it there. All right, so it's just behind this pocket here. Right, so I'm going to put that there. That's better with the apricot, the avocado background. I want to put that there, and obviously you don't have that much space, so I would prefer to put this on this side rather than that side where it's in the fold. So we'll end up putting that there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this out the way. Hopefully I remember the ordered pages. That's always my worry when I'm doing this, is am I going to get the order of pages right? Right, so we want to stick this down. So I'm going to use this glue here. And you can use any glue you like. Hopefully it dries clear, whichever one you choose. So we want to just get that stuck down. Now, you're not going to see much of what goes on behind here anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I'm going to just get that more over this way. Remember, you want to stick this down. I had that in my head at the last moment. Right, so we've got that there. There we go. And then you want to take your little die cut, and I'm going to get that stuck on. All right. And then I wanted to put on a couple of flowers and things there. So this flower I want to stick on over here. Now again, just be mindful of the fold line there. So you want to keep that away there. So we will end up sticking that on there like that. And I tend to put it opposite where I'm putting the die cuts. Are we going to combine the die cuts with the fussy cuts? So let's just get that away from that section. We'll stick that a little bit higher. There we go. And what I'm going to do while I'm holding my finger on here is put a couple of die cuts on there. So just trying to grab some. I thought maybe one of these and one of these. Or I could put one of these. I think that's probably better. So I'm going to put those two on there like that. But I also want to take my little sweet love letters and stick that just where over that fold for the pocket. And then I've got a little butterfly that's going to just peek over there. So it's quite a lot to stick down, but there you go. It's going to look so pretty. All right, so let me do that quickly. We will need to start with this. it's always a good idea to sort of plan it out a little bit before you glue things down. I find that I'm better prepped when I do that. It just helps. Right, so we've got that there. And then we can stick this over. All right, so here you can see all the layering that I've done there. I'm going to put a little bit of stenciling there, but let me do that, grab a few things, and I will be straight. All right, so I just used my Tim Holtz stencil. This one is THS077. Quite fancied those there, and I've just spotted my little pearl stuck on there, so I'm going to use it for my butterfly. So that was really handy. So there we go. We will not waste that, and we'll stick that little pearl just over there. How lovely is that? So I used the antique linen oxide for there and there, and I quite like how it's turned out. And then I'm just going to take one of these, I think probably this one of these. So yeah, let's take this one and slide it in there like that. No. See, that's why it's good I've got options. So there's the one. Isn't that really pretty? So before I lose the place, I'm going to put that in there and put that back into our journal cover, because if I do too many things, I'll lose the spot. Right, so that one looks gorgeous. And then we want to find, I had a I think it was this spot here that I wanted to do. I'm just making sure. Yeah, I think that's the spot for there. So this is the first lace page from the back part of the signature. Again, I'm going to just take that page out and go like that, so I know where it goes. And we will put that to the side. Right, so we had this flip out that we did before over there, and this is now on that back flap over here. So same thing, we've got this one. I'm going to stick that down straight away. I already got glue all over my hands. It's the joy of crafting. What can we say? Right, and then again on this one, I'm going to decorate it on that side, so you want to keep it more left. Yeah, so let's just get it over here. Yeah, like that. All right, and then before I decorate anything on this one, just give it a nice press, I'm going to take this and use my Victorian velvet. So again, I'm just going to use this here. Just, it's really pretty stencil, this. You can always see how much or how little you want by just lifting it up like that before you remove it, and I quite like that. I don't want it overly dark. So there we go, I've got that there, and then I think just a little bit at the bottom, just a little bit. Okay, might not even see that bit. Right, so that's what we got there. And then I'm going to put on a couple of bits here as well. So I'm going to stick this on at the end, because I know I'll have to end up holding that down. And you can see where your fold line is here, so you've got a little bit more space over there, so I wouldn't want to exceed it beyond that point. And then again, I've got a couple of bits and pieces to stick on over here. So this little green piece, like that. Oh, I think I'm going to have it sticking onto the top there a bit. I'm going to, this is like really being optimistic now. I might not fit all these on. I've got this over here and this over here, which is quite a lot. And then I've got my little sentiment as well. We might not be having a sentiment on that one, so we might just do that, and my little butterfly, which is smaller. Right, let me go and stick these down. So we'll start with this one here. And you don't want to exceed the edge of the page if you can help it. Right, so we got that there. All good. And then we'll get our little flower on. All right, and then just the little butterfly. Grab another little one of those pearls. Can't go wrong with that. And then the very last thing, which is putting on this flower. Right, so we've got that bit there, and again, here's my fold line, so you don't want to exceed that bit. So we've got that there, and then, and I will have to hold it for a while. So yeah, right, so the tag that I thought would go nicely in here would be this one because of this lovely flower. And so I'm going to just slide it in over here. Make sure that I haven't glued anything down. And that one will go just in there. Right, so there we have it. We've got that one and the other, which I just need to grab. Oops, the whole lot nearly landed on the floor. As it was sliding towards me, I just caught it. Right, so that's going to go in here like that. Here's the join line there, so it's just got enough space. Right, so there's the one, and there's the other. All right, really cute. All right, guys, I hope that that was a nice, easy project for a Sunday, and another great way to use up scrappy bits of all sorts, which we've been doing, especially in this journal. But I think they always turn out really pretty. Go and have a lovely Sunday. I'll see you again on Tuesday, where we'll do something quite exciting again for this journal. I'm enjoying putting it all together and using different sizes of things. So that's quite something for me. But yeah, I've had fun with it. Thanks for all your lovely comments. As I said, I'll see you on Tuesday. Stay well. Bye-bye.